geared more toward corporate world. So what happened to that? How did you see that impact people? What came out of that first book?
Yeah, well, two things really. The first thing was that when the book first rolled out of my desktop printer, this is now 3 years before we actually found a publisher, before anybody else in the world read it.
Sure.
Back in 2005, it was when the book first came out on my desk. Ana was the first person to pick it up and read it, and she's the first person that picks up and reads the first draft of anything I write.
Sure.
And she read it and said, "This book is going to be huge. This book is going to be great. This would be a great book about marriage
Wow.
because you're describing how we live." And The Go-Giver was about adopting an attitude of putting the other person first. This is in a business context, right? So
Yes.
putting the other person first, putting their interests and their needs and their concerns first, not only because it's an altruistic and it's a noble thing to do, it's the right thing to do, but it also serves you as well as them. It's a winning strategy, if you will, in business terms.
Absolutely.
Living with generosity is a smart thing to do as well as a
Hmm.
good thing to do. And she said, this is how we do our marriage. And
Mm.
she's right. And it's taken us almost 2 decades to get to the point of actually writing that book about marriage, but that's where we are. And you asked what we saw from that book. It was pitched, if you will, to the business community,
Hmm.
to entrepreneurs and small business people and corporations, but we very quickly saw it leak out into the world.
Mm.
Family counselors and churches were teaching it, and all kinds of groups in other walks of life other than business were also using the book because the principles are really universal, and that's what we tried to harness and capture and use in that unique context of marriage in this book.